Hello there, my name is Jeff Cassell and I am the President of the School Bus Safety Company. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, known as FMCSA, has issued new minimum training standards for all commercial vehicle operators who need a Class A or Class B CDL licence. These apply to all new trainees after February the 7th, 2020. There is a lot of concern and confusion over these new requirements. They are referred to as MAP-21 or entry-level driver training. Like Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So my goal in this vlog is to explain the new requirements so everyone can clearly understand them. First, let's deal with a myth. The new requirements have not been postponed. You are still required to comply with them for all new trainees after the 7th of February 2020. Only one small part has been postponed for 2 years. The part that has been postponed is the requirement that each state create a web-based electronic system that will enable locations to transmit to the FMCSA the details of the required training for each trainee. Only the requirement for this system has been postponed for 2 years. The new requirements address two areas. One, entry-level driver training referred to as ELDT. Two, trainer provider registry referred to as TPR. And although it's not a MAP-21 requirement, we also recommend you implement a safety management system or SMS. We need to look at these one at a time. So first, the entry-level driver training requirements. Number one, these requirements only apply to new trainees after the 7th of February 2020. They do not apply to existing drivers. If a driver already has their CDL license, they do not apply, unless the driver wants to add an endorsement or change the classification, for instance, adding a school bus endorsement. Number two, there is no change to the CDL written test license requirements. These have not changed. Number three, the new requirements are set out in a very detailed 72-page ruling that looks like this. This ruling contains 93 units, and each unit addresses multiple safety practices. When we add up all the safety practices in the 93 units, there are 303 practices that must be trained. These units address classroom training, behind the wheel training, and include passenger and school bus specific endorsements. While the regulations set out the subjects to be trained, they do not 1. Detail what to train, 2. Explain how to provide the training, 3. Specify for how long, 4. Describe with what materials, or 5. Specify the format of the training. And each trainee is required to obtain at least 80% in an exam based on the classroom training. But the FMCSA has not created the test. That is left to each location. The number of questions is also up to the location. So what do you need to do to make sure you are complying with these new minimum standards? Well, number one, we have to compare your current training to these 303 required practices and identify any practices you do not currently train. Number two, add any omitted subjects to your training. Number three, make sure you have an exam and have every trainee take this. Of course, we already did this with our driver training course. And as we looked at the 303 practices, we created a detailed checklist and compared these to what we already teach in our driver training course. We then identified 26 required practices that we did not teach, and so we created a supplemental program that trains these 26 additional subjects. A few examples of the 26 subjects we needed to add are idling, fueling, hours of service, penalties and fines, seat belts, and merging and lane changing. We have also created a 40-question exam specifically for the FMCSA requirements. So, if you use our driver training course and add the training of this supplement, you will be 100% in compliance with the new ELDT requirements. It is as simple as that. So, let's turn to the second subject, the trainer provider registry. Included in our supplemental program is a guide on how to comply with the trainer provider registry requirements. It's actually quite straightforward. Firstly, have your trainers review the ELDT requirements so they understand what is required. Then, once available from FMCSA, complete their form and electronically send it to FMCSA so you can obtain your own unique training location number. We're told by FMCA this will be available prior to the end of this year. Number three, institute the written exam as explained earlier. Individual trainers are not certified, only the location is approved to provide the training. Now, the third subject. Once again, it's not required, but we recommend that every location establish a safety management system. Having a safety management system provides you with a process where all the hazards in your operation are identified, analysed, and actions are taken to mitigate them. We have already done this, and the 22 hazards involved in school bus transportation are detailed on the right side of this poster, and the actions to mitigate these hazards are detailed on the left side of the poster. Our driver training course is based around the desired practices on this poster, and as such, if you use our course, you already have most of the suggestions for a safety management system. To establish a safety management system, the recommended actions are: number 1, implement your safety management system both in content and actions that you will be taking to enforce the identified behaviours to mitigate risk. Number 2, document what you are going to do, who is responsible, and how you are going to do it. Number 3, include the drivers in creating the SMS so you get buy-in. Wow, a lot of information. So let's summarise. For ELDT, 1, identify which of the 303 practices you do not teach now and add them. Number 2, create an exam for the classroom training subjects. For TPR, 1, make the trainers aware of the 303 required practices. 2, once available, complete and submit the TPR form and obtain your unique training location number. For the safety management system, 1, identify the hazards, analyse them and create the actions to mitigate them. 2, document the actions being taken to implement the SMS so you can monitor your results. Okay, so with that, what should you do? Well, you have a choice. You can take all these steps yourself and create your own materials, probably in PowerPoint, and do the best you can. This is the cheapest option, but you get what you pay for, and the result may likely be of poor quality. Or you can take advantage of all the work we have done and buy our driver training course and the supplement and have the most advanced training materials available. The combined cost is only $5,200 and will be used for up to 10 years. Our courses are available on DVD, flash drive, or we can provide a subscription with web-based delivery. The safe, quality service you deliver is controlled by the quality of your training. Use the best available for a very low cost. Order on our website at www.schoolbussafetyco.com or call us at 1-866-275-7272.